Hello and welcome back to another episode of Nelly Nino. While you've not been watching, we've done the floor, the insulation. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And now we've actually got the top floor, or the top of the floor. We're going to be putting in some pine planks. The reason being is I don't really like the idea of having a laminate in here. Yes, it is a lot lighter, and it's probably a lot easier to replace this, that and the other, but after a while it wears through. And as long as I keep this waxed and I keep it oiled, varnished or whatever,
I don't know why
it's pretty much going to be water resistant anyway.
But I've made a decision on the floor. I'm going to take this floor out, which is a hell of a task. A lot of people just leave them in and then put their floor over the top of it, but only half of it is insulated. It's like a U corrugated stuff, so only the stuff that's inside is insulated. So I'm going to take the floor up, put down that tinfoil bubble wrap stuff, and then put a 5mm ply down, and then put my floor over that. It's going to be quite a thick floor, probably a real wood floor. So at the moment I'm just going around with this magnet, trying to find where the screws are, literally just by wiggling around, following the linear pattern that they're screwed in, finding them, drilling them and around them so that it weakens the wood around the screw, and then hopefully I should only have to make a few cuts and it should lift out a lot easier.
Floor's been taken up and now we have to build the frame for the insulation. It's going to go over the top of it. The reason being is because this bit, all the bits that are metal, this bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, they've got nothing underneath them. And also, because I've raised that, to hold the shower tray to be raised, I've levelled this bit off to that bit. So if I lift up the whole floor and whack a bit of insulation under it, I'll have a nice flat floor. I've just ripped down a load of CLS planks, which are about 3 times the size of that, about 2.5 times the size of that, to make my battens for the floor. And it has made it hella dusty in here, cutting up so much wood in such a confined area. It's pretty much a choking hazard. It's dry as anything in here, dusty as anything, because the place is covered in man glitter. Fabulous. Part of this floor job, because it's literally slice these, make them fit to kind of close, bang a bit of industrial squirty cream up the sides, and then we're on to cutting the floor. Like not the floor, not the finished thing, but the pre-floor. Polystyrene and Celotex, but the Celotex I had laying around from something that I'd done
7 years ago. So I'm using this, and then I've got a pack of polystyrene as well. And I've got some foil roll left over. That's all the Celotex applied, and then we put this foil bubble wrap insulation over the top of that. It's probably not going to add a mad benefit, because then we've got this cue board going over the top of that. That's quite light, to be fair. So the floor that we took out is probably heavier than the floor that we're going to put in, or about the same weight. But this silver stuff, I just had it laying around, and it's going to do more good in here than it is sitting in the garage.
Where did you go? Hello?
That's all of the cue board done. It looks pretty plain, pretty boring, but you can walk on it. It's not the strongest of stuff, but it's not the main floor. The main floor is what will give it strength. And this bit was previously raised off the floor, so that it was level with the shower tray. So now by the time I put my actual floor in, the floor should be level with this metal bit here, so it'll just continue straight over to the ductboard, which is the shower, and it will allow me to put the same floor as what I'm going to put here on there. I've got to go through and re-screw the cue board, because having never actually done this stuff before, I didn't realise that there'd be special washers to put it in with, and the screws just kind of go straight through the board. So I want to be able to actually have the cue board or the baseboard pulled right down.
I've been through heartaches, I've been to heaven. I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never worry. Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to...
I didn't think it would be too long before we came against a side quest. The fridge is sitting on the, essentially like the subfloor, or the bare floor with no panels on it. So if we panel up to the fridge, we won't be able to get the fridge out. So we've got to take the fridge out and retrim this bit. Luckily enough, there is quite a void behind there. So it's just a case of taking the fridge out, trimming it up. So pretty much just the thickness of the floor that's going in. So up to there, maybe add a bit, take a bit off. Sliding the fridge back in, lifting the fridge up so that when you do have to slide it out, it slides out over the floor as opposed to having to be lifted, and then also having to check the clearance of the door itself.
Every
Gonna have to trim that bit there with a saw, like a hand saw.
Cause I can feel the energy.
Boom! Side quest complete. Just have to grab a sanding block. Sand off your burrs, people. If we look at this bit, it looks like I'm nearly done. I'm not. Still got the rest of that to go. I'm only going to bring it to sort of this level, and then where the two sides of this archway are, going to bring it along in that gap, because this is going to be a cupboard and this is going to be storage, so I'm not going to waste any time or effort making the bottom of that look pretty. I'm pretty much just going to whack a bit of 10mm ply, so a bit of this stuff that's on the floor just laying around, just going to whack a bit of that in that section and then build a chair up over it. There's no point having this, which is a bit fancy, in essentially a storage cupboard. It just doesn't make sense. Chances are by the time that I come to make this video, there's probably not too much footage of me actually laying this floor, because it's just repetitive. It's me coming in here, going like this with a tape measure, mumbling a couple of numbers to myself, wandering over there to the bench, re-mumbling those numbers, standing there trying to figure out whether or not I've remembered the right numbers, marking the wood, cutting the wood, bringing it back and repeating that process. Only a few more cuts left to go to get the floor done. Just got to pull up these 11 boards, cut along that line, and then I'm going to have a bench seat on that side and a bench seat on this side, which will also double as a cupboard from the outside and the inside. Here is where I'm going to have like a little patch of carpet, because I'm going to put one of those single leg tables there, and the reason that I'm going to put carpet there is because I think that it'll actually be quite nice just to have your feet on something soft when you're eating your dinner, your breakfast, and just when you're just sitting there on your laptop or whatever you're doing. It's just going to feel nicer on your feet. This is a really fun project for me to do, and I also really like just creating the videos, documenting it as we go along. So make sure you don't miss out on the new videos that are coming out that I make. If you like and subscribe to this channel, the YouTube channel, it's also over on Instagram. I'll put a link to that below, and you can follow all the, well, they're not really adventures at the moment, but you can follow all the real random build photos that I put up on Instagram. But just make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel to make sure that you don't miss out on any more of the build.